Number one, it's a 1-point lead for Mihak Gazarian of Romania.
We interrupt our sports coverage. We understand there has been an explosion not far from here at Centennial Olympic Park. Now, one of our technicians, Bob Hilscher, is an eyewitness, is with me. Here is footage courtesy KTLA off CNN Live. This is Centennial Olympic Park, which is in the downtown area, not far from the World Congress Center where we are located. Now, let's keep those pictures up. And the voice you will hear is one of our videotape editors, Bob Hilscher, whom I worked with some 20 years ago. You can see the crowds in the street, the ambulances. This happened at about 1:20 a.m. It's now about 20 to 2. Bob Hilscher, where exactly were you and what happened?
Well, I had finished working on the evening material for CBC Sports, and I decided to use the MARTA to go home, and to get to the MARTA you have to walk through the park, and there was music still performing on the main stage at the band shell, so I thought that I would take some of it in just for 5 minutes because it was fairly good. And I moved, it was quite full, there was nothing available for seats, so I moved in to about the middle of the seating area. It looks to be about like 50 or 60 seats deep. And I was enjoying the music. It was very good Southern type music, semi-rock, and everything was going along fine. And then there was an extreme explosion off to the right of the stage, out where the speakers are located. It's an explosion I've never experienced that level of explosion before. It really hit my ears. A woman who was close to me received some form of head injury. I'm not sure exactly what caused it, or nor what caused the explosion. There's a lot of smoke came out of that corner of the seating area. I tried to help with the woman beside me, and they finally got some security people and some police to assist her. And I moved further down about 10 seats just to see if I could assist the others. They were in the seating area, and I counted 8 people who were on the grass receiving assistance with all what appeared to be suffering from different types of injuries. I don't know what type.
Bob, take a drink of water here, and I know this is tough for you. Now, the MARTA that Bob referred to, ladies and gentlemen, is the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority. That is the subway, if you will, although it runs above ground. Now, I mentioned we are right downtown. CNN is just across the street. We'll try and set the scene for you. The Georgia Dome is nearby, where they play football, the Falcons, where basketball and gymnastics is held. Across the street is the Omniplex. About how far from here at the broadcast center would you say you were? A couple hundred yards, or it's a little further than that, I guess?
No, I ran back in about 3 minutes, and it's a leisurely 5-6 minute walk, okay, to get there. It's I came out and I was just going to go straight home, and I mean, it's very nice and warm out there, and it's sort of like being, I guess, down in New Orleans, and there were literally thousands of people out there in that park, and so I thought I'd just go over and take advantage, which we don't get much to take advantage because we're very busy here doing the sports side of it. So I thought I'd just take advantage of it, and hey, what can I say?
Let's be very clear about one thing. We have no confirmation this is a bomb. It is simply being called an explosion, which it obviously was by the Atlanta Police Department. Was there panic?
Yes, there was, and I might say that as someone who works in television, my first instinct was that perhaps the sound system on that side had exploded and blown up. Now, I don't know what caused it, so maybe it was. They're very big speakers. It's about the size of an average cottage, the speaker system on that side. So I don't know what caused the explosion. All I know is I saw the effects of it. So.
Again, what we know, ladies and gentlemen, an explosion. No one is saying the word bomb. This is simply an explosion. It occurred in the Centennial Olympic Park. Bob, I'd say at about 1:20, is that the time? It's about
20 minutes after
quarter of 2 right now. More live pictures courtesy CNN. No immediate confirmation of casualties. Bob Hilscher here said he
no.
saw, you counted 8 people,
Yeah, I counted 8.
but they were all still very much alive
Yeah,
at
and
the
I
time.
must say, yes, I don't know if anyone was critically hurt. But I must say that, you know, I'm sort of lost for words. It's just, for me, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm here doing this. I've done other games for CBC, and whatever's caused this is just, whether it's the speakers, whatever, it's just all those people over there enjoying the evening, me along with them, and to have this happen, it's just, I can't describe it.
All right, Bob, let me just recap for our viewers as we look at live pictures again. This is Centennial Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta. It's now about 1:45 in the morning. There has been an explosion of some kind. These are pictures provided by NBC. An explosion of some kind during a musical show. No official word on injuries. Bob Hilscher, one of our technicians whom you've been listening to, said there were at least 8 people he counted on the ground. Things appear to be very much under control as we look at these pictures at this hour in downtown Atlanta.
They brought, they moved very quickly, I must say, to try to get people out of the park. The security people were asking people to, and there were, as I say, I can't count them all, but there seemed to be thousands of people in there. They were asking everyone to leave the park immediately. What seemed, you know, within minutes, they were asking people to get out. And when I was leaving, they were bringing in support vehicles, fire trucks, other vehicles with flashing lights. I'm not sure, I don't recall seeing an ambulance, right to the front of the stage area, right in front of the seating grass area where the people were on the grass injured.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to caution you too, looking in at this hour, not to, if you will, you know, let your imagination run wild. I know what people are thinking. Here we go. This is, you know, one thing or another. But as of right now, it is. This is raw footage that we're getting. It is unedited, courtesy NBC. Some of the injured, but you have to keep in mind this may simply have been an electrical explosion. You can't let your mind run wild at a time like this, especially at the Olympic Games with all the preparations, all the heavy security. But as I say, it appears to be very calm right now in downtown Atlanta. And again, this is about a block from our broadcast facility. Bob, did people immediately leave the area, or did people simply stand around almost in stunned silence?
People just seem to be standing around, much like myself. And I think most people are just stunned. And I think a lot of people thought perhaps it was part of the act. At first I thought maybe it was even fireworks. It was like fireworks going off at ground level. And when I saw the smoke, I thought perhaps it was part of the band's performance, but the band immediately left the stage and cleared off the stage after the explosion.
Well, the explosion apparently happened at a sight or sound and lighting tower where the band was performing. And again, we have been cautioning you all along. This is an explosion. This is not a bomb, folks. And the fact that it happened at a lighting and sound tower at this musical concert would lend you to think it may have been an electrical shortage, but it's impossible to speculate. We are simply trying to err on the side of caution here at 10 to 2 in the morning. A spokeswoman from the Atlanta Fire Department, who will not give her name, says that between 150 and 200 people were injured when an explosion struck a tower near a stage where thousands of people, including our technician, Bob Hilscher, were watching a concert. This Centennial Olympic Park is an area where people come to relax, to listen to music. It's just a giant gathering area in downtown Atlanta. One eyewitness said, "I thought it was fireworks like a big boom. I saw 3 guys laying in the street." If you're just joining us, these are live shots of Centennial Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta, 10 to 2 in the morning. The explosion now some 30 minutes ago. An unidentified spokeswoman for the Atlanta Fire Department saying the injured number between 150 and 200. Bob Hilscher, one of our technicians who is just leaving now, you heard him describe what exactly happened at about 1:20 this morning. Again, no immediate confirmation of casualties from the Atlanta Police Department, the Georgia State Police, or the Atlanta Fire Department. We understand there's the possibility that the International Broadcast Center, where I am speaking from, could be evacuated soon, as this is adjacent to where I'm talking to you from. Remember, folks, that there are thousands and thousands of security agents, Army, FBI already in Atlanta. The federal government giving substantial aid to the Atlanta Police Department. Security's been a major story here right from the beginning, from the opening ceremonies last Friday night. And again, this is raw footage, courtesy NBC, as the injured are removed from the Centennial Olympic Park. And again, a spokeswoman for the Atlanta Fire Department, who will not give her name, says the total injured number between 150 and 200. Raw footage here. It's a warm night in Atlanta, so obviously you have the Olympics, so you have people downtown celebrating anyhow, but with the warm weather, the crowds are larger than normal, and we are just yards away. I have been told that the International Broadcast Center has been sealed. No one is allowed into our facility, and this building could be evacuated in the very near future. As you can appreciate, very tough. I'm sitting in the control studio here. We were covering the Mike Strange fight when word happened, and I am seeing the pictures as you see them, raw footage courtesy NBC News in downtown Atlanta. But there certainly, to me at least at this time, does not appear to be any sense of panic, and that is good. People seem to be moving in a rather orderly fashion. Fire trucks from both Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, and the surrounding area. This is a city of only 404,000 people, the actual city. The metropolitan area, more than 3.1 million. And again, this is right in the downtown area, within yards of CNN, the Georgia Dome. We understand News World has joined us across the network. Let me update what happened. It's 5 to 2 in the morning. At about 1:20 Eastern Time, there was an explosion in a sound and light tower where a concert was being performed in the Centennial Olympic Park. That's all we know. Bob Hilscher, one of our technicians who's left, he understandably is not feeling well, said a lady was knocked down and cut standing next to him. He counted 8 people on the ground. The Atlanta Fire Department, the lady not being identified, now saying that the injured total between 150 and 200. The area is sealed off at the best of times to traffic because when we come in here in the afternoon, it takes us some 2-3 blocks to walk to the World Congress Center. More ambulances continue to flow in the area. But again, let me try and draw you a visual map if I can. This area, the Chamber of Commerce building, the CNN Center, the World Congress Center, which is the home to the Broadcast Center, weightlifting, wrestling. The Georgia Dome seats 80,000 people. There's an overview of Centennial Olympic Park, now evacuated. The Georgia Dome is nearby. That's the CNN building on the right. You can just see a little bit of red on the upper part of your screen. That is the CNN logo. Just to the right of that, about, I'd say 20 yards, is the Omniplex, the former home of the Atlanta Flames in the National Hockey League, and go another 200 yards and you're up to the Georgia Dome, 80,000 seat facility that is home to the National Football League Atlanta Falcons, and right now home to both basketball and gymnastics. Our broadcast center is just to the left of that picture, and again we understand the facility has been sealed. But let me emphasize and be very clear in this point. This is an explosion. That's all we know so far. It was in an electrical tower, so there could be any number of causes for this explosion. And as you can appreciate, I am seeing these pictures as you are, and I am sitting in the studio here at the International Broadcast Center. Bob Serkin is the NBC reporter, and we are taking pictures from NBC. Coming up now to 2 o'clock in the Eastern Time Zone. The Centennial Olympic Park is located, as I say, to several venues. At every Games, there is a place for athletes to mingle, to gather. There is apparently where the explosion occurred. That is near the stage. You see it's a light and sound tower. These pictures, again, courtesy NBC. The casualty toll unofficially, according to the Atlanta Fire Department, between 150 and 200. Bob Jamieson from CBC News is here. I will ask Bob to come in just a minute if he can update me on if there's any other information that we should know at this time. Our reporters are endeavoring to get down into that area, but the area right now is sealed off. And we understand the broadcast center is sealed off, so we could be here for some time. This explosion, now some 40 minutes ago. Bob Hilscher, our videotape editor, one of many gentlemen that I've worked with for some 25 years, standing there when it happened, and extremely fortunate not to be seriously injured. This area now, just on the outskirts of Centennial Olympic Park. We're due to sign off the air. It is coming up to 11 o'clock in the West Coast. We will obviously stay on here. News World has joined us. I'm Brian Williams. Hopefully somebody will be joining me here in the studio, and we'll get some information from more people that have been outside. But again, it appears orderly. It appears extremely orderly out there right now. From the pictures we see, no sense of panic. Bob Hilscher did say people were extremely frightened and began to run in every direction. There was a very strong police and security presence. An explosion here in downtown Atlanta tonight, right there. Centennial Olympic Park. There's a gathering place at every Olympics where people come to hear music, they party, and this is where the explosion occurred. And again, the only word I have is it occurred in a sound video tower where there is obviously a lot of electrical equipment, electrical outlets. Now 2 o'clock here in the Eastern Time Zone. We're endeavoring, there exactly is where it happened. You can see the area that's been ripped away. Bob Hilscher said he was standing some distance from that. Is Bob Hilscher still outside, Dave Toms? If he is, if you can bring Bob back in here, I'd like to find more information. Huge security here in Atlanta. There's a security force of some 60,000 in the area. Security is tight all the time, very, very tough to get into the building, which is in this area. We have new information. As you can appreciate, I am sitting here in the studio, inside, in the basement of the broadcast center next to this. New information is being fed into my ear at this time as the police work on victims here. A massive explosion has rocked Centennial Olympic Park early today. A spokesman for the Atlanta Fire Department, who would not give her name, as I've told you before, said between 150 and 200 people were injured. There were no immediate reports of any fatalities in the explosion that rocked downtown neighboring buildings. It was that powerful and could be heard throughout the downtown core of Atlanta. I thought it was fireworks, like a big boom. I saw 3 guys laying in the street, said Terry Tyson, who witnessed the explosion. They all had leg injuries. It was horrible. Tom Williams was standing just across the street when he heard the tower blow up. I was walking along. 3 people were laying in the street. I didn't see any fire, he said, just smoke. He said the 3 men he saw, he believed, were blown over a fence. The tower, apparently used for lighting and sound near the main concert stage of the park, and as you saw in those pictures, it was still standing after the blast, but debris littered the base of the structure. Another eyewitness, Chris Bender, said he heard what sounded like a cannon. I saw a bunch of smoke come up and saw particles in my eyes, he said. Police and other security officers swarmed through the streets trying to clear the area, forcing people away from the park. But as I say, and I'm seeing what you're seeing at home, folks, it looks remarkably calm and under control to me at this time. This is the hub area for the Olympic Games. And as I've been telling you, 3 major sports arenas are adjacent to the park. Sports competition had ended when the explosion occurred. Now, the park was packed with people. As Bob Hilscher said, they did seem to panic, many in tears, many, as you can appreciate, running through the streets. And at a time like this, it's a time when, you know, your thoughts run wild with the stories of security and security problems, but it's a time when you also have to step back and try and keep things in perspective and realize that so far this is an explosion. There has been no mention, at least at this time, 2:05, of a bomb. Now, police say, and witnesses now say, a trash can had exploded during the pop concert. The trash can exploded in front of my eyes. People were screaming. One person's head was cut. Greg Geist told reporters, television stations, and again you've heard from me, are quoting officials as saying up to 200 people could be injured. And I think, again, it's very important to point out, this was not a competition venue, and competition was long over for the night here in Atlanta. Now 5 after 2 on Tuesday morning in the Eastern Time Zone as we continue to look at these pictures courtesy both CBC and NBC. Bob Hilscher, come on back, who is one of our videotape editors who was an eyewitness to this explosion. Bob, I know this is very tough for you, and you're not feeling all that well. Bob, as we look at these pictures, it seems remarkably calm out there now. Was that the case when it happened?
Yeah, it was. It was just a regular outdoor concert. After the explosion, there was general panic over in the area of where the explosion occurred. Where I was at, there was a woman who was hit by something beside me, and I just sort of stood there stunned along with the rest of the people in that area. And then most of the people behind me didn't seem to be doing anything, and I think the thing that really came into play was just how well the security started to move people back. I didn't leave because of the woman beside me. Yeah, so it's...
You're saying, Bob, that security acted appropriately?
Yeah, they did.
In a good manner.
Yeah, they were... There are many different types of people. As we've all seen, as we've been working here, there are people, I guess there must be 4 or 5 different types of police and security type people, and they all seem to be working together. The people that came immediately to the assistance of the woman who was beside me that seemed to have received some sort of head injury, they were just the local security for the city, and they were very quick to start to try to aid her. There seemed to be 3 or 4 of them trying to sort out how to get an ambulance because of all the people, but they managed to move her in 5 to 6 minutes.
Bob, you bring up a good point, and it's one that we should repeat. There are so many representatives of different security agencies here from the federal government. You've got the Army, you've got the FBI, you've got the Georgia State Police, you've got the Atlanta City Police. Well, this is a relatively small city, isn't it? Just 404,000 in the downtown area.
Yes, it is, but everywhere we've gone, we've seen a great show of police support. When we leave this area, most nights between 2 and 2:30 in the morning, the streets are full of security of all different levels, including their Georgia State Patrol Police and their own Atlanta police force. So there's been always a good presence of police everywhere. So I guess the thing is, for me, was they were moving people out in the time in assisting the woman who was beside me, which seemed, I don't know how long it was, it seemed like 5 or 6 minutes. But then there was a man who was on the grass, seemed to have some leg injuries, over from me. And by the time I looked up, I'd gone over to him and looked up, there had already been a small-sized fire truck and other support vehicles that had moved right in front of the stage, so they were quickly moving in. That area that you're seeing right now on the screen there, that's the area where I was standing. They're looking back towards the center of the park there, away from the stage area right now, and I was sort of, now that is the tower itself. As they swing around, it's hard to discern all of this, but
Bob, the tower itself did not fall down.
That's the tower back in there. You can see the tower with the white material on the base of it. That seems to have been where the explosion occurred, and I saw what looked to be smoke. You know, it's hard to discern what it was, but it looked like smoke. That's the tower. Yeah, I didn't see the front of the tower because I was standing such that I could only see the side of it.
Bob, what happened on stage? The music is going on. Did everything just stopped immediately? Or
yeah, the music was, the band was playing an up-tempo, upbeat piece of music, and you know, this is, I've spent some time in the park as I go through it to MARTA over the last 2 weeks, and there have been some terrific music productions there's 3 or 4 different concert areas, and it's been rather nice to watch people dance to different types of Haitian music and Deep South music. So people were dancing in front of the stage. I could see people dancing and enjoying the music, and everything was just going along quite well. They have a very large video wall behind the band, so that even though you can't see the musicians all that well, they're projected on a very large size screen, much like the one at the Dome Stadium in Toronto, in Ontario. And so I was able to take in the musicians, and then suddenly there was an explosion.
If we can take that CBC sports sign off, I can show you the Georgia Dome is on the left. And now we zero in to show you exactly where this occurred. The Olympic Village they call this the inner ring. The Atlanta University Center is the home to 5 black universities. That's home to field hockey. Right downtown is where that occurred. The Athletes Village is some ways away from this. I would say several miles. It's adjacent to one of the main interstates on the campus of Georgia Tech University. That's also the home to the aquatic competition tonight that wound up there. Bob, they continue to evacuate people from the downtown area. Immediately after it happened, did they ask everyone just to stay in place, or did they ask everybody to leave?
No, they asked everyone to leave, and you know, I would have left myself immediately, but I guess I was just too stunned, really, and I just seeing a person that badly injured.
Here's an overview of the area, Bob, and the Georgia Tech Aquatic Center up at the top. The Congress, the Georgia World Congress Center, is where we're located. The Omni is the hockey basketball arena. The Georgia Dome is football. The blast has occurred right between the Georgia Dome, the Omni, and the World Congress Center. It is right in that area. Now, CNN's Sky Building, or Sky Office Tower, its skyscraper, is located right there next to the Omniplex. Now, normally, I leave, we're off the air at 2 Eastern, midnight on the West Coast, so, or 11 o'clock on the West Coast. I leave at this time, as you do at night, Bob. You left a little early tonight, and we go right by that park, and I can tell you the streets are hopping, there's music, there are vendors, very much alive, and obviously that area has now been evacuated. We can tell you it's an area.
100-meter hurdles. The third event of